Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing wonderful. I'm back with another tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to see how to create space shooter game. This is your place to learn to code and have fun. In order to support my channel so that I can create more content for you, make sure to subscribe, like and hit the bell so that you can see my new uploads, and also make sure to share with your friends so that other smart people like yourself can see my videos. So let's dive right in. Alright, let's see a demo of what we're gonna make first. I need to hit the rocks, and I also make sure I'm not hitting the stars. So if I hit the stars, I'm losing points. Now let's see how we can make this. Okay, let's see what we need. In order to make this game, we need a couple of items that I'm gonna add. First, let's choose a backdrop. There is a space category, so I go right away to space, and then I'm gonna choose galaxy. This one is also a good one. I'm gonna choose this. So I also need a couple of sprites. I need rock, so rock and rocket ship, so both of them. Searching again. My internet is a bit slow today, but it's okay. Rocket ship, and then what else? Let's put a star. So I want to have star and rocks, both of them I want to come from the sky, like from the top. And then if I hit the star, I'm gonna lose point, and if I hit the rocks, I'm gonna get points. So I also need bullets, because this rocket ship is supposed to shoot at the items that are coming from the top. So there is no bullet. I'm gonna paint it by myself. The way I do it, you can also download the image, but anyway, I just decided to do this. So I draw two squares, and then using the line, I'm gonna draw a line like a rectangle here, and then with paint I'm filling it using this one. I'm gonna make it look like fire. It's not really like it, but let's just say it's similar. Who cares? Not bad at all. Oops, what did I do? Okay, I'm quite happy with what I made, so I'm gonna select all and group them together so I have a bullet. Let's also give it a good name. So bullet. Also, my project doesn't have a good name yet, so I'm gonna give it a name, space shooter. Space shooter. Okay. I have all items. Here we go. And let's set the sizes to a proper size right here. So I want this one to be smaller, much smaller. 20 is good. The rocks, it can be half of this size, so 50. Stars, still too big. 30 too small, 60 is good. And then rocket ship is also too big for this screen. Okay, now all items are here, ready to go. Let's start by writing the code for our rocket ship. I want to control this to go right and left by pressing my right and left arrow key. I also want to have a variable to track the scores. So first let's create a variable, make a variable, and I'm gonna name it score. I want it to be for all sprites, so I want it to be available to all sprites. So okay, so I have the score here, and then so just when start clicked, let's zoom in a bit so that you can see. When clicked, let's say I want it to be here at this position, so I put it here by my mouse, and then when I go to motions, this X and Y are already set to what I want, so -2 and -140. And I also want to initiate my score. I want the score to be 0. Variable, where are you? Score is here, so set score to 0. What else? Now I'm gonna say I'm gonna control it with if. So to if then, I want to say if I'm pressing right arrow, do something, and if I'm pressing left arrow, do something else. From the sensing, I can say if key right arrow pressed, do this, and if left arrow pressed, do the other things. And the thing that is going to be done is a motion. I want to direct it left or right. So if right, change X by 10. If left, change X by -10. So I'm dragging it and then I'm changing this number. Let's see how it works. I press start, and is that I forgot to put a loop. So I didn't say that I want to repeat something. So let's go to the controls, and then I want to repeat this lines of code so that I don't need to click on this every time. So repeat until I want to have a condition. What is the condition? I want to go left and right by pressing the arrows until the rocks is hitting the rocket ship. After that, I want to be game over. So I repeat this only until I'm touching my rocket ship is touching the rock. So going to the sensing, and then so repeat until touching rocks. So I put it here, and now I expect if I press start or flag, this goes right and goes left by pressing. So now I'm pressing right and left. It should keep repeating itself, and it only stops when this rock is hitting this rocket ship. Okay, so far so good. Now let's write the code for rocks and for star. If you have watched my snow falling video, it's almost the same concept. We create by the way, I'm gonna put the link below so that you can check the snow as well. It's very similar to this one. When the snow is coming down, it's the same as when the rocks and the stars are coming down. So the strategy is creating a clone. So when flag clicked, create a clone of, repeat like 10 times, and then go to control, create a clone of myself. Also, I want to make sure that the rocks is visible initially, and then when the clone is done, I want to hide it. So first I show it. So I want to start with the rocket be available, and then when the clones are made and the tasks are done, I want to hide it. So for like this, and then when I start as a clone, where are you? Well, okay, under control. When I start as a clone, what I want to happen is I basically want it to come down. How do I do that? I create a variable and I name it vertical speed. And I want it to, this is very important, make sure to choose only for this sprite, otherwise it's not gonna work properly. So make sure to choose only for this sprite so that it's a local variable. What I want to do with this, I'm gonna hide it. How to hide a variable? Just go to variable and uncheck this. From here, I only want to show the score on the stage. Now, when I start as a clone, I lost my sentence. Okay, I want this vertical speed to be changed. So let's go to operator, and then I'm gonna set the value for it. So set vertical speed to, and then from operation a random number, pick a random number. I'm gonna give it a random negative number since I wanted to use it for y direction and coming down. So I say -1 to -5. In a minute it will all make sense why I'm doing it. So for when we start as a clone, I did set the value for my vertical speed. Other than that, I need one more initialization, which is the location of this rock. I want this rock to start from the top, but it can be anywhere on the x-axis. So I want it to go to, I want x and y, I want the Y to be always at the top, so I'm gonna, so like where it is already, or maybe even higher, so that it's coming from really high. And then for the Y, since I'm saying anywhere on the x-axis, it can be a random number. So pick a random number anywhere between end left to almost end left to end right. So now I know the clone starts from the top and anywhere here. So like the rocket ship, we want a set of steps to be completed repeatedly. So I go to repeat until a condition. And the condition for game over in this game is when the rock is hitting the rock star. So repeat until touching rocket ship, and then after this condition is met, we are game over. So I would go to control, and then I'm gonna broadcast a message game over. Not control, sorry. I go to events and I broadcast. I need to create my new message. I'm naming it game over. So I want to say if this touching happened, broadcast message game over. Then I'm gonna broadcast this, use this broadcasted message to show the game over screen. Now let's complete this one. So what I want to happen before touching the screen, obviously I want the rocks to come down. So how to say I want it to come down? By changing the Y direction. So I need a motion. So I'm gonna say change Y by, not by 10, but by this vertical speed, which is already defined here. One more thing I want to say is, so this rocket is coming down, 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 and when it gets to the end, I want it to go back up again and come down. So it's repeating until unless it's touching the rocket shape. I'm changing the one, and then when it came here, so I'm saying when this thing happened, if this thing happened, so it means control, if my new location became something like what it is right now, so if my Y location is less than something, which is right now this is minus 172, is less than minus 200, for instance, or it can be even less. I want to say on the motions, I choose Y position. If Y position is less than this number, go to the location that it originally was. So I just need to copy this part of the code. In order to do that, I'm gonna separate this and then I duplicate this so that I can put it here. I want one more of it as well. I'm putting it here for now. Come on, come on, come on, go back. Okay. So far so good. Write the code for when we are hitting, the bullets are hitting the stone. So another if condition for changing the score. So if something happened, the score should go up. So from the variables, change score by 10, for instance, or anything you want. So if something successfully happened, we want the score to be changed, and then I also want the position of the rocket, the position of the rock, go back to the top again. So I'm hitting the rock should basically disappear and a new rock is gonna come from the top. So I'm gonna drag this. How do I say that I successfully shooted the rock? I can simply say if touching, so rock is touching the bullet. So from the sensing, if touching bullet, if touching bullet, score is added, 10 score is achieved, and then this rock should kind of disappears. How do we say disappear? Is that it just goes up again, so that is, it looks like a new one is coming. So let's give it a test and see. So now this rocket is hitting the rock, so the code stopped. The things are not repeated. And I only got 20. Technically after this I should be game over, but we have not yet programmed the game over part. We just broadcasted the message but not yet completed. Let's also make it a bit fun, because currently when I'm hitting this I don't hear any sound or anything, so just let's add a sound. So I'm going to the sounds, actually this sounds, and let's search for anything related to space. So I want to play a sound for the time that the bullet is hit, or the rocket or bullet is hitting the basically when the rock is hit. I'm gonna choose this and I'm gonna play with it a bit, make it slower, so it's like the rock is exploding. So boom cloud, I did add it here, and then also let's add it to the code as well. So from the code and the sound, at this point that the bullet is touching the rock, I'm gonna play sound boom cloud until done. So we're done with this one. Now the star is also has all the same codes. So I'm gonna copy that and then I'm gonna modify it a little bit so that they are differentiated. So how to copy every code that is for rocks to star? I simply click, I stay on the rock, I drag this on the star, and I also drag this again on top of the star. So if I go on the star, I should see both of the codes here. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm putting my mouse at the top so that everything is coming to the star. Now is what I want. All right, so now is the time to rename this one to star vertical speed, and then I say okay. I play start. Now the variable is working for both of them. So stars are coming down, rocks are coming down as well. In order to differentiate them, maybe instead of 10 star, I only put 3 because I want to avoid hitting the stars, but I need to hit the rocks in order to win. So if it's too many stars, it's gonna get difficult. And I'm gonna lose score when I'm hitting the stars. So instead of positive, I'm just gonna lose 2 scores maybe. And then I want the speed of the star to be slower, so I go only until -3. So now they are well differentiated. Now let's program the bullet. This is the fun part. This is a part that the bullet is shooting up by pressing spacebar. So initially, when flag is clicked, I want it to be hidden, so it looks like it doesn't exist. And then when I first hide it, so let's say it looks like it doesn't exist, and then when I'm pressing my space bar, so from events, when space is clicked, I want a clone of it to be created. So control and create a clone of myself. So a clone is created, and then I want this clone to go to the same location that the rocket ship is located. So I say go to I delete these numbers. I just say how to say the location of the spaceship. First, go to sensing, and then this is a bit tricky. You won't see it first. There is a code which says backdrop of stage. Change the stage to rocket ship, and then you will see exposition. So drag it here, and then again drag it here and change to Y position. So what I want to say is, whenever I'm pressing the space bar key, a clone is created, and then when I start as a clone, I go to this location. So I should say when I start as a clone, I go to this location, and then in order to say how to shoot it, a movement is required. So change Y by maybe like 10 steps each shooting. Let's see what happens. Start. So something that's not correct here. Let's see what is wrong. So few problems here. Firstly, not set Y to 10, but change Y by 10. Second is, when I start as a clone, it's still hidden. So let's show it first. Then this needs to be in a loop because I want to keep shooting. So repeat until hitting the rock, or yeah, that's a good strategy. We can always try, test, and see how best works. So repeat until, just repeat until. Repeat until, touching. So I go to sensing, and then I take touching, the bullet touching the rock. So touching rocks, it might work now, I think. Let's test. So I press start. It's not yet moving. So again, let's see what is wrong. So here, accidentally, when I start as a clone, I show it, and this go to this location is accidentally dragged inside, so it should go back up. Only change Y should be inside. Alright. And then at the end, the clone should be deleted, so make sure we're deleting the clone as well, which is on the control. Start. So now it's working perfectly. Now the last part is to be able to show the game over. We did already broadcast the message game over, but no one is seeing it. In order to show the game over, I'm going to my backdrop. So backdrops, I'm creating one more backdrop by duplicating this, and I'm naming it game over, and then I'm writing the word game over on it. I'm gonna choose the font Pixel. You can choose anything, but Pixel is quite good for the games. So I'm gonna write game over, and I want it a bit bigger, so I'm just clicking on here, I'm selecting it, and then I'm dragging it So I have this nice game over screen, and then I go to code. I say when, so when means an event. When I received game over, I go to backdrop, switch backdrop to game over. Also, the initial state, which is when flag is clicked, I want the backdrop to be just like a galaxy. So switch backdrop to galaxy. Switch backdrop to game over for game over, and I want to stop all the scripts so that it's actually all things are done. So I stop all. A sound for the losing, so I go to sound library, I add, let's see if there is anything for lose. There is, and it's not bad, so I'm gonna add it. So backdrop, go back to the code, so switch backdrop to game over, play sound, lose until done, and stop everything. So let's play the game. So I press start. Why did I game over? I think I hit the rocks. So let's play again. Oh, so something I need to fix here. There is a bug. When I'm hitting the stars, I'm gonna get game over. That's not what I want, because I shouldn't hit the stars, so I'm very likely to hit them. So what I'm gonna do is, on the stars, I don't want it to be repeated until touching a rocket ship. Instead, I want this to happen forever. So I won't lose if the star or the star and rocket ship are touching each other. So I put it here, and then I put forever instead. And here we go. Let's play again. Oops, what's going on? So 2 more changes is needed. I don't want to game over when I'm not hitting the stars. So I take this off, and I take this off as well. So now should be okay. Yep. Oops, I hit the rock. Okay, that was a really fun tutorial. I hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure to press like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Also, there is a lot of room for improvements in this game. I'm not gonna say what you can do to improve it, but if you have I'm sure you have a lot of ideas on how we can remix it and improve this game. You can comment below and share your awesome ideas. Actually, I'm gonna give you a hint. How would you go to the next level? Or yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. So make sure to comment below any idea you have on how to improve this game. See you next week. Don't forget to like.